is where I'd normally put the picture of this is my face while I watch the episode, but instead I'm going to leave this picture of this very happy couple right here. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm talking 90 Day Fiancé, Season 8, Episode 18, Love Me or Leave Me. And to help me recap, I've got my 90 Day Fiancé here.
Hey, this is Jay. I haven't been on in a while, but it's fun to watch these together, especially when most of the guys set the bar so low that it makes me look amazing.
That's a good point. You never made me quarantine in Serbia, and you didn't make me come over from Russia and work on your parents' farm, so thanks for that. So we're going to get into the episode. I thought it was another great one. I'm really enjoying the season still. Oh my goodness, so much going on, so much to talk about. So many assholes on this show. It's kind of wild, right? But check out Jay's channel, Dr. Bad Vibes, all one word. He does really funny stuff, gaming, stuff like that. So check that out. Let's get into the episode. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives of New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. So side note, my pictures have gotten so much better. The new way I've got it set up, like they're not as blurry. But I'll tell you, where they went into the thick of Corona on this one, they did a lot of self-recording, so you'll notice some blurry pictures, but it's not my fault this time because I'm taking a picture of a picture on their phone. So that's what's going on there. So right off the bat, we're with Jovi and Yara. My goodness, seriously, Jay said it best. It's like the men on this show are awful, and Jovi is no exception. The only guy on the show I really like right now is, I never say his name right. Is it Tarik? I think he goes by Tarik. But you know who I'm talking about. He seems like the nicest guy, but everybody else sucks. And Jovi's no exception. So they're on their way to Las Vegas to get married. And they're from, of course, Louisiana, New Orleans. And they flew into LA. And they're driving over to Vegas. So he said, Yara's been in a bad mood since they left New Orleans. I wonder why. Could it be because you stayed out all night the day that she had a fall while she's pregnant? And you went out and got really drunk, even though she asked you not to, and you came home many hours late. That might all have something to do with it, but nothing's ever his fault, right? So Yara's whole thing is that he's making her feel less important than his friends. This is not the wedding that she wanted. She's upset because her family can't come over, and yet he's getting his family, and he keeps adding more friends to the invitation list. So during the road trip where Charity feels like crap, by the way, like how much money could they have possibly saved flying into LA and driving to Las Vegas? I don't know about you guys, but like when we've flown to Vegas, the flights are pretty cheap. So I just didn't quite follow that logic, especially with Yara not feeling good, being in a car for a few hours. Doesn't sound like a great plan. So they take a break from the road trip from hell and they decide to go to whatever this place is.
So yeah, and they're amazing cross-country road trip. They stop at one of the tourist traps. It looks like the dinosaur roadside thing from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Also, it was in The Wizard, the 1990-ish commercial for Nintendo that was disguised as a Fred Savage movie.
Wow, so once again, your nerd knowledge saves the day. Look at you. Yeah, Yara had a line that made me laugh here. She's talking about Jovi, and she says, if you let him take one bite, he'll eat all of your cake. And I thought that was a pretty good analogy for him. He does seem like that kind of guy. And then I'm going to stab him with a plastic fork. So Yara has wandered off by herself, seriously regretting what's going on here. She calls her best friend. She says this is all about Jovi, and it's hard to be alone without anybody. And I really felt for her. That's a tough spot to be in. He's like, oh, hey, where's my fiance? What's going on? Like, he barely notices her. This is just a road trip for him with his pals. She says, I love Jovi so much. I wish I had more time to decide. if I was not pregnant, I would leave everything and go home. But it's not that simple. And I felt for her. That sucks. That's a horrible position to be in on your wedding day. So then we go over to Natalie and Mike. And you guys, the cringe is real. I love when they go over to these two. And not to jump ahead, next week's Natalie and Mike stuff. Amazing. I'm here for it. Okay. So after it all went down, remember last week, he decided on the wedding day he couldn't do it anymore. Seriously? Like, I'm no Natalie fan, believe me, but he's the worst, right? I keep saying that about each guy. No, I think Andrew's the worst. But Mike's one of the worst, right? Because he dumped her on the wedding day. Like, we knew this wasn't going to work out before. He dumped her on the wedding day. Okay. Go back and watch last week's if you're not sure what I'm talking about, but he dumped her on her wedding day. So, again, she's filming a lot of this because of COVID, so this is where the pictures get crappy. Uncle Bo put the luggage in the car, so she's decided to leave. She's going to go stay in a hotel in Seattle, fly out the next day. So this is some shit. She can't even get into the Ukraine because the borders are closed. So they literally had to book her a ticket to France, because at this point you could still fly into France, and then she's going to try to figure out how to take a train or a bus or something to get into the Ukraine. And then to further make it complicated, she doesn't have a place there. Her mom's there, but her mom doesn't even know she's coming back home yet. I think she had an apartment before. She must have let it go when she moved over here. It's just wild stuff. I actually felt for Natalie, and if you make me feel for Natalie, there's something seriously wrong with you. Okay, so I have in my notes Bigfoot sighting because Mike looks like a Bigfoot, and he looks wild in this episode. Again, her camera, so crazy pictures, hard to tell what's going on. She looks awful, but she's sobbing. She's saying Michael is monster.
Yeah, and the show wasn't very discreet in containing these spoilers, but I mean, realistically, how far back did we call this? I guess the wedding day must have been the day to meet his contractual obligation to get paid for this show, and he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I hate to admit when you're right, but you're right. Natalie's calling him weak and saying she will not contact him. She'll block him. You just go. All the best. So the ending is as awkward as the entire relationship. They pretty much match up together. Then we go over to Brandon and Julia, and we get this shot of his mom running around the yard. I mean, this mom. We're going to get into it. Seriously, these guys on the show are so bad, and then his mom does not help things at all.
However, she does help a lot by giving a pretty sweet haircut to the dad. Although she uses his nose as a handle for some reason. It was really weird. They're acting like it was a normal thing. Like, just, turn your head.
What I have in my notes here is Brandon just seems to be looking for attention. It's so weird. It's like he's read that guys aren't supposed to be interested in things like weddings, so he's gonna read that storyline. So he's just not interested in the wedding. Seriously, Brandon, you are the luckiest guy ever. Look at you, look at Julia, that's all I'm saying. And look at your mom, because that's who you look like, and that's exactly what you're gonna look like as you continue to age. It's like his mom's face on an 8-year-old's body. It's the strangest thing. I don't understand what Julia sees in him. Okay, so mom's asking if he's happy, and Brandon's all sullen. Poor guy. He's had it tough. Notice the sarcasm in my voice there. So, yeah, he's saying he loves her, and they have so much fun. I strongly feel like that's just because they're finally able to share beds again. He also says 90 days is a short amount of time to decide. Well, no shit. That's why you're supposed to decide beforehand. Bring her over, and that's basically like, I don't know, it's your engagement period. So you've pretty much mostly made up your mind that this is something you're going to do. So yeah, it's a short amount of time. Maybe don't leave it to the last day before you get married.
Yeah, I think that brings up the weirdest part of this show in general to me. It's basically people that have decided to order another person online. I mean, and they're using Wish, not Amazon. I mean, if you're that lonely and or damaged. It's 2021. Like, I think several companies have pretty advanced sex robots now. I mean, just save yourself the trouble.
Speaking of sex robots, let's go over to Stephanie. It's Stephanie and Harris. Now remember, Stephanie from Grand Rapids, Michigan came down to be with her 27-year-old fiance, that's all she could call him, Ryan. It didn't work out with him, so, get with his cousin Harris. Oh my God, these two. Her. He actually seems like a nice guy, but my God, she is a mess. What is it with her? All I can think of is she just loves chaos around her. While this would make most of us run screaming, she loves it. She loves that, then she could go back and tell everybody her very dramatic story about dumping one and finding love with another. Like, give me a break, lady. So he decides he's going to be her hero and go fetch a coconut from a tree. You guys, seriously, what is with Spider-Man here? What's happening?
My favorite part about this scene, aside from the potential thigh burn coming down from the tree, it's playing music in the background. That's the same music one of the tracks they use on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and that made us laugh. That's one of our favorite shows. So it's like, the gang gets a coconut.
Yeah, and the irony there is that Stephanie's more like Frank than anybody else because she's allegedly on drugs and making terrible choices for her life.
Yeah, living just like Danny DeVito's character. I don't know how many years I got left on this world, so I'm going to get real weird with it.
Oh my God, that's so good. I wrote in my notes, I just kind of daydream for a second here. Could you imagine working at her office or something, and she comes back, and you just want to make small talk, like, oh yeah, how was your trip? How was Ryan? And she tells you this insane story. Well, funny story is I dumped Ryan and I got with his cousin Harris. I mean, seriously. So she's canceling Ryan's K-1 visa and hopes to build a relationship with Harris. That sounds totally normal, right? But she's got stuff weighing on her mind. Okay. She's trying to tell him, listen, Michigan isn't nice. It's cold, it's icy. I used to live in Michigan. I loved Michigan, but, for once I'll say she's right. It's cold. Okay, so Jay pointed out, who did you say she looks like?
Yeah, this whole part I was just kind of watching and thinking, she looks like somebody I've seen before. And then it hit me. It's like if Nicole Kidman had a secret sister that was like a heroin addict or something.
It's like Nicole Kidman and Jan Brady had a baby together, and that baby took a lot of pills, allegedly. And because, again, she loves the chaos and the drama, she decides, this is a new relationship. Let's start in on him. So she pulls up Facebook and wants to know why there's pictures of him and his children's mother in the photo. And apparently her name's Emma, and he's like, it was my birthday. She was just there. She gave me a hug. That's it. Stephanie, you gotta chill. Seriously. Maybe there is something going on with Emma. I don't know. I don't actually care. But I actually think that would be funny if there was. But it's just funny to me that she immediately, first day they're together, she pulls up Facebook. Who's this? I mean, he has a bunch of kids with her, so Emma's going to be in the picture forever because that's how that works. And she ends her segment with her eyes barely open, saying, Harris and I may have a future together. Okay, Stephanie, let me know how that works out for you. Then we got Rebecca and Zied, and I don't cover these two because I just can't with them, but I gotta say, they're walking around angry in Target. Who gets angry in Target?
Yeah, seriously, especially if it's one of those older Targets that has the snack bar with the popcorn machine and the ices, that would diffuse any argument.
Seriously, if I know I'm about to say something that's going to piss Jay off, I just take him to Target. I let him pick out a couple toys and an icy, and we're good. Then we go to Tarik and Hazel. So, again, I like him so much. He's such a good dad. He seems really sweet with his girl. He tries to do everything to make Hazel happy, including inviting other women over, as you do. So I'm going to breeze past this part. It was a sweet moment. she has decided she needs to come out to her family as bisexual. She identifies as bisexual. She's going to talk to her parents about it. Now, remember, her parents are super religious, so that's not going to go well. She ends up telling them that she likes both men and women. The parents are shocked. They say, oh, no. And she takes time to explain to them what's going on. I mean, it's great that she came out. It's good that she's telling the truth. She's living the life she wants to live. Good for her. They basically tell her to pray it out, pray fervently, and it will go away. No, that's not how that works. She says she has to tell them even if it pains them. So she tells them Dad actually takes it okay. I mean, he tells her to pray it out. That's not great. But he does say, basically, he just wants her happy. That was sweet. Mom, not so much. She's saying it hurts her. So we'll see how that goes. She says bye-bye. That's the end of that. And she's excited about her new life in America. Then we come to my secret boyfriend. Sorry you had to find out this way, Jay. Andrew. Seriously, you guys. He is the worst. I would take Mike any day of the week over this Andrew. Andrew is awful. Now, I had a really funny post from, I'm assuming his mom. Maybe it's Andrew himself pretending to be a girl. And standing up for Andrew because he's such a good guy. Literally the only comment I've gotten standing up for Andrew. How can anybody stand up for Andrew? He's the worst. The worst. Oh, he is a terrible person. Okay, let's break this down. So the producer talking to Andrew is saying this has gone wrong, and he has 4 days till her visa expires. According to him, he got a text that she didn't get on the plane. The producer's surprised by it, and he says, she texted me. She had a panic attack and didn't get on the plane. Okay, stop right there. If she had a panic attack, obviously something is going wrong with her or her mental health. So let's not be a dick about it right off the bat. Then to camera, he says she completed the 2 weeks in Serbia, but she couldn't get on the plane. So, of course, it's all her fault. He did nothing wrong. He never does. He woke up expecting to pick her up from the airport, and he got a text saying she didn't get on the plane. Again, nothing's ever his fault. Then he's like, I think I failed. So in his telling the story, he did absolutely nothing wrong. This is all her fault. She randomly had a panic attack, didn't get on the plane. But yet, he's saying, I think I failed. Oh, let's all feel sorry for Andrew. Ready? No, didn't think so.
Yeah, I haven't been watching this show intently the past few weeks, but immediately that reeked of BS. This guy is just full of it. And also, when we were talking amongst ourselves, either I forgot or I didn't pick up that he works at a daycare. Jen pointed that out. If I dropped my kid off at a daycare and that dude was there, I would not even, it wouldn't even cross my mind that he was an employee. I'd be like, do I need to call the police?
Seriously, he's got to be on a list somewhere, right? Allegedly. So again, woe is me, Andrew. I think I messed up somehow. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the case. And then we see 24 hours earlier, we go over to Serbia. So Amira is crying in her hotel. She is having to film herself crying in the hotel. I felt so bad for Amira. She's saying, I thought he was the one. Again, I have some questions about Amira if she thinks that Andrew was the one. She explains just a few hours before the flight that she was about to reunite with the love of her life. Andrew called her and picked a fight with her. So again, he got this luxurious vacation in Mexico. She's been in Serbia where she's scared to go outside to even get something to eat. And Andrew calls and picks a fight with her. And he's saying that it's not working out between them. They're not on the same page about having kids. She says she's so hurt right now. The man she wants to spend her whole life with is doing this. Again, I question her sanity. She says she tells him she loves him and he knows that, but it's not stopping. He keeps picking fights with her. He texted me a ticket to go to Paris. He says, you have 2 tickets, 2 choices. I don't care. So again, Where was this in his confessional where he's saying, nothing happened. I don't understand. She had a panic attack. It's her fault, not mine. I didn't do anything. Okay. So she's got these text messages, right? And you guys know I get super into this stuff. Like, I love to zoom in on the screen and see what was actually said. You guys, he is a psychopath. He is talking so shitty to her and saying, like, he's editing, when he talks about the text he sent her, he edits out part of them. Of course, he doesn't say the bad parts. He's telling her you're shooting yourself in the foot, and if she's got any talking to do, she's got about 60 more seconds. And then he says she has about 5 more seconds, and he starts counting down. He's literally texting her 5, 4, 3. I mean, what a psychopath.
Yeah, this dude is like an overly dramatic, straight-up psycho. Like, I don't know what's up with the Jack Bauer countdown. Maybe this is the way you deal with toddlers. You know, you count down or whatever. That doesn't really translate to, your partner. But the whole thing's just crazy. The dude's, like, he has a very high opinion of himself, and I don't really know why. I mean, I guess he must have snagged, like, one of the rare, like, Pikachu foil cards or something out of the early decks. I don't know.
So I don't read spoilers. I don't really care. The troll that was Andrew posting on my page was saying that Amira had a secret boyfriend. Truthfully, I don't care. I hope she did have a secret boyfriend. I think that would be even funnier, but it just doesn't make sense why she would go quarantine in Serbia if she had a secret boyfriend. Even if she wanted to be on TV, I don't care. I think Andrew did too, and he got his wish. He ends up looking like a douchebag, and now he feels regretful about it. Whatever. Okay, so she's trying to decide what to do. We all know what happened. She doesn't get on the plane. He's a fucker about it. The end. But I will say one good thing to come out of this is at least it sounds like she made up with her dad. I hated the thought that they were arguing. I like her dad. He really looks out for Amira. He could spot that Andrew was a weasel and didn't have any ambition at all. And so I liked him, and I'm glad that Amira made the right choice, stayed behind, and called her dad. So I'm glad that they were able to make up. And lastly, what the hell is up with these guys and these rings? I'm sorry, but once you give it to the girl, that's a gift. She doesn't have to give that back. I just don't understand where he gets the balls to try to have her send the ring back. Fuck you, dude. Yeah, you go wait by the mailbox and see if it shows up. Then we're back at Brandon and Julia's, and by that I mean his parents' house. Mom's saying, let's get the kids and see what their thoughts are. So they decide they want to sit down with them and discuss options for the wedding. And remember, Mom is so excited because she did not want them to get married within a month of Mother's Day, basically, because it might steal some attention from her, heaven forbid. I mean, seriously, this lady has got to get over herself. But so the dad calls them in and is like, listen, we have to do something sooner than later. This virus thing is happening. We're all quarantined, and we need to talk about moving up the wedding. Julia she said she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what happens next. And she's worried because they're stopping giving visas, green cards, etc. So they're talking about marrying very quickly. And the parents say maybe do something small, make it legal. But then Mom is starting to say, well, let's have a nice ceremony. Mom is giddy because she realizes she gets to decide everything because this has to happen so fast. Julia doesn't have a dress or shoes. Oh, we'll get into that dress thing later. My God. Mom wants to take her out tomorrow, buy whatever says she'll buy whatever she needs. What that means is Mom will have more control. Julia won't have a say. She'll get bulldozed because this is happening in like 48 hours. Julia is saying she doesn't have a choice. She's trying to figure out how to do this with no time. Brandon's saying, I don't know. Brandon's balls haven't dropped. I don't know what he's saying. He just creeps me out so bad. He's saying, like, we'll get married next week. I gave him a terrible accent. He's just an awful person. Brandon is saying he's not ready to give her up yet. And in my notes I wrote, that just means he wants to bang her more. I just thought that was such a weird way to describe your fiance. Like, eventually I'll give her up, but I'm not quite ready yet. Okay. They both say, we just want a green card. And I was just thinking, is that a good idea to say on camera? So then we're back to Yara and Jovi. They're in Las Vegas. He's saying he's, super happy. More friends and family are coming in tomorrow. He just wishes Yara could be in a better mood. Wonder why she could possibly be in a bad mood or not feel good. He says he doesn't want her going into the wedding depressed or upset. It's interesting that this is the first time he seems to care about that. They ask Yara how she feels. She barely speaks. Friend asks about a prenup. She says, "What can I take from Jovi? An old sofa?" He says, "I feel great. Let's get married." And she says she's upset, but she's trying to have fun. She wants to go in the hotel room and relax. Well, Jovi seems to be an alcoholic, allegedly. So how is that going to work in Las Vegas? Like the biggest party town ever, maybe besides New Orleans. And she expects that he's just going to chill and calm down and not go out drinking. I just can't imagine that's going to go well. So she's saying, "It's our wedding. I wish that he just wanted to spend time with me tonight." So back in the room, she's telling him, "You promised to change after the engagement party." Remember at the engagement party, he basically ditched her where she didn't know anybody. She didn't feel great, and he went off drinking with his pals. She wants to talk to him about this. She's pissed that he invited all his friends, and it's about you. It's like a birthday party, not a wedding. She's saying she's just wants more. She wants more of his attention. He's giving it all to the friends, and I totally get what she's saying. She brings up the bachelor party, coming home late, drunk, all this stuff. For a rare moment, he actually seems to kind of listen to her. He says that we don't have to hang with my friends. We'll just make tonight about you and me. She's saying, "I hope he'll change. I don't have the time to find out. I'm pregnant. He has to go to work, and we have to get married now." Damn, what bad sentence. What bad choices. Just, I hope he'll change. Okay, I'm sure getting married will make somebody like that change.
These two are they've been such a train wreck the whole show. Really, the only hope they have you ever been around one of those couples where they just seem to thrive on hating each other, and that brings them closer somehow? I think that's the only route they can go and have any chance.
Then for the comedic relief of it all, we go back over to Stephanie and Harris. So he has to leave. He has to go back to work. And she says, "I put a little something for you to eat in your shorts so you can have a little meal in your tummy." So in my notes, I wrote, "Oh, okay, she replaced one son for another." Because remember, she always talked to Ryan like that, like it was her son. It was disgusting. So can we just back up and focus on this line for a minute? "I put a little something for you to eat in your shorts so you can have a little meal in your tummy." And yet, I thought for a second it was the money she ends up giving him later. No, that's not what it is, because she pulls that out of her purse. So I ask you all, what the hell did she put in his shorts? Why would you put something to eat in somebody's shorts? Is that code for something? Is that pills? What are we doing here?
Yeah, the whole time I was thinking, like, are they speaking in code? Is this some kind of drug handoff? Or is it like some kind of Bart Simpson reference? Like, is he going to eat his shorts? It makes no sense.
Such a good point. So now I'm going to keep going on the episode, and while I do, why don't you have that little snack I left for you in your shorts? So then she gives him $100 bill. Again, I thought this was what she was talking about until I went back and watched the scene again. I don't know what this $100 is for, but he's so happy about it. He says it's like 2 weeks worth of work for him, and he'll make good use of it. Buy things for his kids, not snacks. That's what he said, not snacks. I think she was telling him to use it on snacks. So she's telling him don't miss the boat, and she says this is the first time she's had several days of just Harris. Oh my God, she loves the drama. It's got to be it, right? I mean, just runs face first into a burning building. Like, why not? Not a care in the world. But seriously, what are the snacks in the shorts? I need this information. Leave me comments below. What do you think the snacks in the shorts are? Is it beef jerky? Is it a euphemism? Did he give her a snack in the shorts? What are we talking about here? Oh, yeah. Also, she made a big deal about saying when Ryan left, he left a bunch of stuff behind. So she gave it all to Harris, which I kind of love. Bags of clothes. She talks about this watch. She's like, do you have the watch? $3,000 watch. I'm thinking, did he not hear that part? Because if he was that excited about a $100 bill, he's probably like enjoying that snack in his shorts over a $3,000 watch. So then she enjoys margaritas. Again, her eyes are barely open. Wonder what that's about. And yeah, we're going to move on. She drops a very terrifying line about really wanting to meet and talk to Emma, the mother of Harris's children, to make sure she's cool with them being together. Can you imagine Stephanie coming to talk to you about anything? Then we're back to Tarik and Hazel, and what I like to call Jay's favorite scene of the episode. So again, I've said it before, he's like my most normal guy on this show. He seems very sweet, he's very kind to her. My other MVP of this episode is his friend Angela. I mean, what a sweetheart. She has not only gone out of her way to make Hazel feel welcome, she listens to their problems as a couple when nobody wants to do that. She has arranged this bachelorette party for Hazel. Such a sweet, sweet moment. I mean, she's such a sweet girl, Angela. I really like her. So, let's see. Michelle is there. This is Hazel's friend. They gave some vague thing on this. They met on Instagram. They bonded over both being Filipina and that they get along so well. They met online. She lives hours away, but this was a chance for them to meet up. I want to know more details on that. Kia arrives, another friend of Tarik's, and they all toast, and I'll let Jay tell you what happens next.
So yeah, this is like one of the only nice guys in this show, and I feel bad for him because this whole time I've been getting the feeling that she's just using him as a proxy to get her girlfriend and her green card, and that's reinforced with this party. The stripper shows up, and she has the most emotion and expression that she's had the whole season so far. And the stripper's pretty amazing. It's like she comes in dancing, and then she stops, but the butt keeps dancing. It doesn't stop.
So we find out from the producer that Tarik picked out this dancer especially for Hazel, and she says, "Oh, he picked the right one." She says she really likes her skin color and her butt. That's what she says. All I can think of is the Lego Movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? So a little part of me that's evil wants to imagine filming this and then showing this part to her parents. That's her coming out story. That would, throw them in the deep end. So her friends are saying, "Welcome to America, honey," and that's how the scene ends. Pretty fantastic. So then we're back at Julia and Brandon's. 29 days until the visa expires. Mom comes in where they're sitting on the bed, and of course Mom has to sit on the bed too. I don't know why this bothers me, but it does. It's just his mom. Ugh. He should just marry his mom. Corona is shutting everything down. They really need to get married now. Mom found a minister that can marry them on Sunday, which would be in 2 days. Julia says she's not ready. I don't have the dress or shoes. Well, Mom offers her dress. And you guys, this dress, it was something. Seriously.
Yeah, lots of bad choices going on there, especially that dress. It looks like Gina Davis's dress from Beetlejuice with the big poofy shoulders. But it's like she's trying to insert herself to marry her own son. It's so weird.
That's exactly what I put in my notes too. This is the closest she'll be able to get to marrying Brandon herself. Julia to camera says, "This is an important day for me and for Brandon." Meanwhile, Brandon is saying, "Let's get it out of the way, and then we'll do a big day." And Julia's like, "No, Brandon, you aren't serious. You're not thinking about this and why we're getting married." And Mom excuses herself, and Julia's trying to say, "Listen, this is an official day. We need to remember this day." And he's saying, "Nah, we'll do something small, then we'll do something big later." I understand the thought behind what he's saying. That's kind of my thought too. Just do something to get it on paper to keep her legal and then do a big day later. But I also understand where Julia's coming from. This is the day. Is that the day? I guess it's not the day she wanted. I don't know. But she's afraid. She's like, we don't have the money to do that. And she's afraid he'll just won't do the church wedding that she wants later. So I get where she's coming from. I do. Plus, she's marrying Brandon. Ugh, she should get whatever concessions she wants. He makes some stupid joke about calling the CDC to stop coronavirus. It's so weird. It's like, all right, he got to bang her a bunch, so he's not really into marrying her anymore. And she's saying, you don't care about anything. You don't care about the wedding. You don't care about the church. He's like, I care. He can't even get enough interest in his voice to pretend like he cares. He says that she only sees the negative, and she says maybe we don't need a wedding, and he says maybe we don't. Wow, these two are definitely going to make it, right? They seem to be headed on the same trajectory as Mike and Natalie. Speak of the devils. All right, Natalie is sobbing. They're on the way to Seattle with Tamara. Tamara's driving her. She's going to stay over with her and take her to the airport the next day where she leaves for America. Natalie says she has a long journey and she might get sick. She doesn't know. Oh, she asked Tamara, do you know where we're going? And Tamara's like, oh yeah, I need to talk to Mike. She finds out that Natalie's flying out around 11 the next day. Natalie is sighing, and they keep making these alerts on the phone. So we find out what's happening is Mike is texting Tamara, you have to come back and get the credit card. So that way you have proof that he paid for the hotel. I have about 1,000 questions about this. I'm trying to think. I've booked hotels online. I guess you have to show the credit card. I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. Jay and I both were saying this feels like production stepping in.
Yeah, this part felt kind of forced, I guess, or interfered with. I mean, maybe production wasn't around. I mean, somebody had to have a credit card just to get her a room for a night. I don't know. It just felt a little fishy. Just to drag this out.
So again, bad video quality because she was filming it on her phone, and this is exactly how it looked on the screen. This blurry, whitewashed, all this stuff. It looks a little crazy. So she goes back. They have to pull back in the driveway. Mike walks up. He gives his card to Tamara. And Natalie kind of tells Tamara, can we just go, please? And he says, like he just remembered, oh yeah, do you have the ring? She says, you broke up with me. I have a right to keep the ring. She says she deserves to keep the ring. And while I hate to agree with Natalie, I agree with Natalie. He dumped her on her wedding day. Keep the ring. She says it's your decision to break up with me. She says she's keeping it to remember. And so he's just saying over and over, so you're just going to keep the ring? You can keep the ring? And then he says, you're just going to turn around and sell it. Fuck off, dude. That's her business. She has every right to do that. I would. I mean, that's ridiculous. It might help her get out of the country, get back home. She might need to do that. She says no, and he says, will you talk to me for a few minutes? She says no. Again, for once, I actually agree with Natalie. She's thinking more clearly. She just doesn't want to talk to him. She knows this is all a trick to try to get the ring back. She just doesn't even want to spend the time. I'm sorry, he dumped her. He doesn't feel sorry for himself after that. She's sobbing. Tamara drives off. Tamara's saying that, he just wanted to give you a hug. And I'm thinking, no, I think he was being manipulative there. Natalie cries uncontrollably, and that's how the episode ends.
Yeah, I like how all of a sudden he got all affectionate and trying to be nice to her. I mean, obviously he just wanted to get her out of the car so he could do some pickpocket thing to get the ring. That's the only reason.
Yeah, like, hey baby, just put your hand in this oil. Don't ask any questions or anything, so I can just slide the ring off without her noticing. So then we get a flash to next week's episode. This has got to be coming to an end, right? Is that the finale? Hazel, oh my gosh. Tarik and Hazel's wedding. Hazel, I like that name. She's worried because of everything they've gone through. Yara goes to pick out rings and he's being a dick. Julia and Brandon are having their issues. He's saying he can't take the plunge until he knows what's in her head. Rebecca's dress doesn't fit, who cares? Mike's kicking around pink slippers of Natalie's and saying it's effed up. Mike, you did this to yourself, buddy. Staff won't take cards at the hotel. We knew this was coming, so they have to go back to his house. Again, I know there's not production crew around them, but you're telling me nobody has money or cards or anything for a hotel room? They have to go all the way back to his house. I believe in the first episode, remember, they stayed in Seattle and then they drove to his house. It took a long time to get there. She flies out in the morning. I think I'd just be tempted to post up at the airport and just wait for my flight. That's it for the episode. So I wonder, is it just maybe one more episode left? I tried to look online. I couldn't find a clear answer. And then they'll do the tell-all at the end, which I am so here for. I can't wait. We'll be covering that as well. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I also want to say thank you for all the comments lately. I've told you, for whatever reason, I'm in YouTube jail, and the comments and the thumbs up have really helped me out. I really appreciate that. If you can continue to give thumbs up and comments, I really appreciate it.
And thanks for letting me stop by. Always a treat. If you want to check out my channel again, it's Dr. Bad Vibes, all spelled out, one word. And until next time, I'm going to go check my pants for snacks.
Oh my God, it's so weird that I have to tell you again, do not eat anything you find in your pockets. All right, thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Everybody stay safe and healthy. Have a fantastic week, and I will be talking to you guys again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.